Hello my wasabis, this is Jirbie from Couchwasabi. So for today's video, it's obvious what we're going to be talking about today. It's Espresso's JX Pro. Wow! So if you're interested to get to know more about this very value for money grinder, then please keep on watching. Alright, so I'm very much excited to share this with you. So in this video, we will be talking everything about Espresso's JX Pro and why you should or should not buy it and why you should consider it. So without further ado, let's start with the video. I will share a quick unboxing of this unit through here. Okay, so now that is done, I'm very pleased to order this from barista.ph. I ordered this yesterday and I actually received it that same day, and I'm actually outside Metro Manila. So I'm very much pleased with that. They even sent it to me for free. So thank you so much, barista.ph. You really made me happy because of that. Okay, it's very straightforward. So it's very different from the packaging I got with my Porlex, but then again, that is super entry level. While this Espresso's JX Pro is actually one of their mid-tier. Okay, so let me just show you like all their ranges. In this slide, you can see that JX Pro is actually in the middle here. So it's a mid-range hand grinder. There are actually two choices for mid-range. You can actually go for JX or JX Pro. JX is perfect for pour over, for mocha pot, for AeroPress, for French press. But if you're going towards espresso, you have to have JX Pro. Now, I don't really plan on going for espresso machine anytime soon or anytime in the future. I'm not really into espresso, but I went with this simply because I got curious of the top adjustment knob, which is something that's not in my Porlex before. And so I thought, hey, I need, I'm looking for a change. Why not try this thing? And getting this would not require me to upgrade anymore unless this gets broken. But with the build quality, I'm sure this would last a long time. So let me just give you a peek again of the box. It's very straightforward. So when you open it, there's this top foam to protect it, and then there's this little cute brush right there. And I'm also curious why my unit from Barista only has this. I didn't really have the size or grinding reference chart, which I see in other unboxing. So I'm not sure why that is, but I have a lot of these things that I also didn't see with the other unboxings. But anyway, those are minimal. I can download the size reference chart anyway. And as I understand, brand new espressos should have like the clear plastic like vacuum thing, but this didn't have that. I got it as is, and then I just opened it and use it. I meticulously inspected my unit. Looks new. The acrylic is scratchless. I was actually choosing between this Espresso JX Pro and King Grinder's K6, the top of the line of King Grinder. And their difference is just about 500 pesos, I think. Only 500 pesos. You get the top of the line of king grinder. I went with this eventually because number one, I like the aesthetic. It matches my other coffee things. Number two, king grinder is like the new kid on the block, so we're not really like sure how that will fare. But I remember seeing this last year at around September or October as a new kid on the block. And at that time, I was starting to get busy with essential oil, so I really didn't check out much about espresso, but I saw this starting to be introduced in the Philippine market. So at that time, that was about 4 months ago. And look at it now. A lot of people, a lot of Filipinos are actually getting it. A lot of like seasoned coffee passionistas who already has Comandante and Kinu still purchase this. So that really tells me something. And I also have seen other testimonials wherein they are long-time Comandante users and eventually transitioned into Espresso JX Pro and actually liked it. So, you know, that really tells me something. It's one of the convincing points that made me want to get this for myself, because for its price, this is priced at 8,000 for its value versus where this unit is being compared to, which is the Comandante at 15,500. This is such a steal for me. And I think this is the most sensible upgrade for me from my Porlex. My Porlex is like a really entry-level, super beginner, super noob, super I don't want to think about it kind of grinder. I feel like Porlex is more for dummies versus if you get your Timor C2, which has like more intricacies and stuff. Porlex is like, you know, perfect for me. And at first, I was thinking of letting go of that because, you know, I already have this. But upon trying it, I realized na I'll keep my Porlex, you know, for sentimental values. And I know I'm going to be using that in some ways. Like when I'm traveling, I don't see myself lugging this. This is so heavy and so space-taking. I'm seeing myself carrying my Porlex, for example, when I'm going abroad and I want to have my pour-over with my friends, for example. I really don't know, but, you know, I love my Porlex. I really love that guy. But I love this too. I think this is a good upgrade. Specs, let me just read through what's written on this infographic, okay? So basically, there are two kinds of JX line. JX, again, is for the pour-over. JX Pro has more levels appropriate for finer grinds like your espresso. And both of them has 48mm stainless steel burr, which they say is really powerful. And its micron size actually is more than what you get from your Comandante, even when you have that red clicks attachment. So clearly, this is a win over your Comandante. Price, this is a win, half of the price. JX has internal adjustments. JX would have your adjustment like inside, just like what my Porlex had. So the knobs would be in here. This one, it's pretty neat here because the adjustment would go from the top. So that's the only difference. I thought that was cool, but now that I have this, it's not really, it shouldn't be a deciding factor, because when you adjust this, you'd still have to check how the grind looks like. So you'd still have to open this up. Same thing. Not much difference with that. It's just a fancy way of dealing with things. Versus King Grinders KX, wherein the adjustment is actually outside. So I think that's more convenient versus this that I have to remove this first and then adjust it and then put it back, because if not, the beads might spill out, because it has spilled out at one point, and then before I open it and check the grind. So more steps. What else? Oh, the capacity is 30 to 35 grams. So that's really cool, because whenever I'd have to prepare or serve like 2 to 3 cups, this wouldn't be a problem. The JX version is 650 grams, while this weighs 130 grams more at 780 grams. But it looks amazing. It's very sleek, very minimalist. It's right up my alley, actually. I really love the design. One of the reasons why I never went with Comandante and I've never considered Comandante is because I don't really like the aesthetic of it. I don't like the woody glass like aesthetic of it. It's not my thing. I like the design that it perfectly falls with all my other coffee things. It's stainless steely, it has this matte black thing. This is very minimal. I mean, I don't mind the wood thing. And I've checked a lot of reviews about this. This is priced at 8,000. I think that's also $160 on Amazon. It's also priced similarly here in the Philippines at about 8,000 pesos or a little less. I was lucky to get this at 10% off. So if you want to check that out, they are on sale until the 15th of February. So I'll link down below where I got this. You can still avail of the discount. It's super value for money for me. I've already did some brews with this, and there is a difference. I'm actually surprised to say that there's an actual difference when you use like a grinder that can grind more evenly versus a very basic grinder that has a lot of fines. And the fines would tend to extract a lot of the bitter notes, bitter aftertaste that could muddle up the sweet notes. So it can outshine the sweet notes. Therefore, what can be a great cup of coffee, what can be a very unique cup of coffee can be shaded or overcast by all those fines. And so I'm very delighted to, convince myself to actually buy one. I never really thought of upgrading soon. Not until we had some friends over and I really had a hard time grinding with Porlex for 3 servings, for 3 cups of coffee. That was really tough. With my Porlex, it takes about a minute and a half, sometimes 2 minutes. With this, it only takes you about 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. And that's really cool. I remember also when I tried Comandante, it was really fast as well. So that's really convenient. But I think it depends also on the bean, whether it can make a difference, because I've tried brewing this with local beans. I really didn't feel much of a difference. But when I tried using beans with sweet notes, this is where this grinder really shined. And I'm very curious to get more like sweet noted beans because I wanted to try. I wanted to check if, my theory would still hold with that. So I will update you with that. I will be doing a series of experiments using this. One of my next planned video is I will be grinding using this, and then I will be using my lily drip, because I think that I didn't do much justice with my lily drip using the Porlex, and I might get a different result with this. It's very surprising for me to realize that. But I've always been very bothered. How come I've never captured like the sweet notes, even if a lot of other people are saying there are sweet notes, and I'm always at a loss. And I know how to detect sweet notes because I love sweets. So I'm really very happy that I've finally decided to upgrade, and it's a very sensible purchase. It's a very sensible upgrade. At 8,000 pesos, I think it's a good price for its tier, for its standard. Comparing it to Comandante or Yorkino, I think this is a good alternative. I'm very happy with this. It's just that I have to be very careful with this because it's so heavy. Okay, so now it's time for me to disassemble it, because I promised you I will be disassembling this in front of you. Okay, so firstly you remove this crank, and then I like removing this, and this is where it gets harder because I'm very weak. So you have to press this while screwing it off, so it's a little bit hard. There you go. Eventually it'll come off. And once you do, you can actually remove the burr right there. Okay? And then there's this other part, and then you can remove all the other parts up here. There you go. So this is how you deep clean it if you need to. You just have to brush it off. I was told that I had to break it in, so I did. Breaking in meaning you have to get your darkest roasted beans and then grind from the coarses to the fine, you know, just to get the grinds going, I believe. So I just brush it off like so. Blow it a bit. I do have like the photographer's or the pro camera blower thingy, but it's in my office, so I have yet to get that. In the meantime, I'm just doing this light brushing, and this is how you clean your steel grinder. You can't really wash them or you will risk rusting. So you just have to brush them off like so. Brush it like so. And this one, do the same, just brush it away. Okay. And there you go. Gorgeous blades. And then put it all back. They say you can put lubes to make sure that it won't scratch, so I haven't really done that. Perhaps I'll get some of my vegetable oils to do that. They say you can put lubes here. And let me just do this. Okay, make sure that is face down. And then this, you can just scoop it back in. Slowly, of course. Okay. So there you go. At this point, okay, you assemble this thingy and okay. Make sure that this is here. Now you have to press. Okay, and then use this. Screw it. So you have to press and screw it. Okay, and then this one. Really need to like power. Oh, that's a lot of pressing, which I didn't have to do with my bare legs. So let me do that again. Press until it won't rotate. So hard. There you go. So you've reached that point. Okay, so I normally, now that you've assembled it back, wow, that's really very time consuming. I like to clean this and then put it back. It's so time consuming. I don't think I will enjoy cleaning this as much as I enjoy cleaning my porlex. But anyway, that is how you do it. I know it can be such a bane, especially if you don't have much power with your hands like I do. It's so difficult. Like, it really strains my fingers every time I'd have to do that. Okay, so normally to set my pour over, I do 3 full revolutions. So right now I am at 9.5 and I will need to go around 3 full revolutions. So that's 1. And then 2. And 3. Alright, and then after that, I would need to go 3 marks more. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So that's my normal pour over setting. You can go plus or minus depending on the grind size that you want. I haven't really mastered this. So right now, this is what I'm using. But of course, it will change as soon as I use this more and brew more coffee using my JX Pro. That's my normal pour over setting. That's medium fine. If you want to go a little coarser, you just adjust it counterclockwise. So that's what I normally use. And that's my setting for pour over. There you go. And make sure to screw this as evenly as you can, because I've seen some review where it got stuck since it was screwed unaligned. So you have to be very careful of that. And here is our Espresso JX Pro. So there you go, guys. As compared to the Porlex, I don't think I'd be enjoying cleaning this as often because it really takes a lot of my energy picking it up, putting it back on, trying to do the calibrations, blah blah blah. Versus with my Porlex, I can just break it apart, wash it, let it dry, and then put it back at a breeze. But the grind quality is really incomparable with my Porlex, and I feel that I am producing a better cup. So at least that goal is achieved with my 8 grand. Anyway, guys, I guess that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my quick review, and I hope you learned something in setting up your JX Pro. And if you have any other questions about your JX Pro or about Espresso, don't forget to shoot them down through the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. If you have any other coffee video suggestions that you'd want me to make, don't forget to leave them down through the comments or slip me a DM on my Instagram up here. And I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!